The beginning of this episode is so spot on. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Crossin Streams. As always, I am your host, the real Gino Reynolds, and today we're going to be continuing our look at the Harley Quinn series on the DC Universe streaming service. This time, episode 5, entitled Batman's Back Man. I'll talk about the beginning of this episode in a bit, because it is really funny and I can't stop laughing. So I want to get through the rest of the review first. And also, I have to say that the beginning of this episode, it's got a premonition in it, a premonition that actually came true. So we'll talk about that in a bit. The episode is basically, we find out that Bruce Wayne is still left. Oh, and by the way, Harley, other than a tiny picture of her and by name, she is not in this episode. And again, that plays towards the beginning of the episode, and I'll talk about all that in a sec. Bruce Wayne's still alive. Batman's still alive. He's been in a coma, and he learns, even though Alfred's been covering it up, he learns that it's now new Gotham and it's a wasteland. So he's ready to get back to work, but his back's all messed up. His legs are all messed up, and he can barely walk around, even with a cane. So he's in no condition to go fight crime. We also, we have TwoFace. Bane approaches TwoFace about working together, and TwoFace is not going to have any of it. Bane, it's funny because Bane tries to sit in Mr. Freeze's chair, and TwoFace is like, no, you can't. There's all these chairs around, all the comfy chairs, and he's like, no, you can't sit in that chair because we're leaving it open for a memorial, and you got to still go sit in the crappy chair in the corner. So Bane wants to work together. TwoFace says no. Batman, he does find a way to get out there after he learns about the two heroes that are still trying to save the city. First, of course, is Batgirl, which he goes to meet. And then also there is another hero with a big powdered wig called the Macaroon. It's pretty obvious who it is, even though you don't see his face right away. And the wig seems to have gadgets. So Batman goes to meet Batgirl, and she posts on whatever Instagram, whatever Twitter Live, whatever she's using. She posts it, and says, look, Batman's back. Even though, again, he's in no condition to fight crime. Two-Face goes to rob a bank, and even though he's very persuasive, they still say, leave us alone, Batman's back. So, of course, that leads Two-Face to go to Bane and try to get his help. And, of course, Bane may seem dumb on the show, but it's funny when he has moments of clarity, or, he shows moments of, like, high intelligence, because Two-Face is like, look, I got you a comfy chair. We're going to be partners. We're going to be buddies. We're going to be pals. And Bane's like, does this have anything to do with Batman being back? And Two-Face is like, if I got to be honest with you, no. Of course he's lying. But of course, that whole thing with them is Two-Face comes up with the branding, and it's still just a picture of Two-Face. And he says that the shadow on the wall is Bane, and now it says Two-Faces, and because there's two of them. And of course, Batman points out later that he already has two faces. So anyway, so Batman is like, you know what? I can't let some sorority girl. I can't let some sorority girl fight crime. So he contacts Lucius Fox to make him a crime-fighting suit. Of course, he tries to hide it from Alfred, but Alfred takes it away from him. And Lucius is like, I'm not getting in the middle of this. But Batman sneaks into Alfred's room and steals the suit. And I don't know if it's taking a shot at Iron Man, but the code for, I mean, it's not exact, but the suit acts like an Iron Man suit. And I believe it was Monica was what the AI was called. And it acts just like, I mean, even when they show his face up close, it kind of looks like in the Marvel movies where you see like the Iron Man suit going and everything. And of course the suit, like, just the whole time it's just like, you're the greatest. Go get him, Batman. All that. It's just like basically kissing his butt the entire time. But he goes to try to take out, well, he thinks he's going to take out Two-Face because there's a bunch of Two-Face criminals there. But sure enough, Bane is there. And Batman again points out that the marketing is terrible. And Bane's like, I knew that was too much of a thinker. And by the way, if you can't tell, I love Bane on this show. Him and Bane fight. Batman is getting the upper hand until Bane doubles up on the Venom. And he ends up almost practically annihilating Batman. He messes up his legs even worse than they are. He's about ready to bust him up. But all of a sudden, we get Batgirl and the Macaroon show up. Bane leaves before that. He breaks the bat, and then he's like, he doesn't kill him. Of course, he's just like, he's going after Two-Face now because he's like, he's not real happy about the marketing. So after he leaves, the criminals string up Batman and like, we're gonna make a video. But then that's when the Macaroni and I think I just called him the Macaroon. That's not too long ago. The Macaroni and Batgirl show up to save Batman. Bane approaches Two-Face and says, we need to fix this, but Bane calms him down, or Two-Face calms Bane down, and he ends up giving Bane his own place to run. He's like, you need to be somewhere where your mind can just go to town, and he takes him to this big hole, and I'm thinking, looks like we're about to take another shot at the Dark Knight Rises in the future, hopefully. So that's the kind of the end of that part of the story. Then you've got Batman who's sitting in a chair. Jim Gordon, he does the bat signal. Jim Gordon thinks everything's okay until he sees Batman sit down. He tells Jim Gordon that he can't fight crime right now. He needs to get back into quote-unquote fighting weight, but that Jim Gordon should work with Batgirl. And that's pretty much the whole episode. It was a pretty solid episode. And again, I'm going to talk about the beginning here in a bit, because then the beginning leads to the end. It was a really solid episode, but it really got set off by the beginning. The beginning shows, and this is the premonition part that just came true not too long ago. There's a couple of fanboys sitting on a couch. And I'm talking like ultra douchey fanboys, right? And the first shot you see is a guy puffing out a bunch of smoke, and he's wearing a shirt that says "Release the Snyder Cut." And and it was it was hilarious because now it's true. But he's basically talking bad about the Harley Quinn show, and just anything bad that you've seen. People talk about the Harley Quinn show, just anything bad you can think of. He's spouting out. He's written reviews and he's never even seen the show and things like that. And his buddy, the guy that's sitting next to him, is wearing a shirt that says something like "The Last Jedi is not canon" or something like that. But the friend convinces him to watch a show because he's like, I don't want to watch a show with Harley Quinn. So they read the title, and the title says, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are not in this episode. Because the guy's making comments about how you have a show set in Gotham without Batman barely in it. And his friend's like, you watched however many seasons of Gotham, But, and then he's like, well, yeah, but, and then he threw out a bunch of other reasons why he didn't want to watch Harley Quinn. But he watched the episode. So at the end of the episode, it shows the two guys sitting on the couch again. They're like, the friend was kind of like, I kind of like that. And the guy's like, yeah, it was fine. And he goes, do you want to watch another one? And he's like, yeah, sure. So they look, and it says, the next episode in 7 days. And the guy's like, that's an outrage. The release model for this is terrible. And then it cuts away, and it was hilarious. So yeah, just the pot shots it took an ultra douchey fanboys was hilarious, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was a pretty solid episode. You kind of needed to establish Batgirl, but you had to say what happened to Batman. I didn't think they'd kill off Batman, but it kind of helped establish, well, Gotham has a new bat, and it's Batgirl. I am curious, though. I honestly figured they would have Damian Wayne in something like this, because I know he showed up before trying to wear the bat suit whenever Batman was in his coma. So, I kind of was surprised. So I have a feeling we'll be seeing Damian Wayne again, but he wasn't in this episode. I was kind of surprised. It was a solid episode, though. The Bane Two-Face stuff was pretty funny. Seeing, Batman act like I can still do this, but he can't, was kind of funny. So it was a pretty solid episode. I had a good time watching it. And again, the beginning of it especially definitely made this episode. That's going to be all for this edition of Crossin Streams. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Gino YouTube channel. Like this video. You have anything to say about the Harley Quinn series on the DC Universe streaming app, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Till next time, I'm your host, the Real Gino Reynolds. See you later, puddins.